Hi Marwa. So I really liked your argument in the Vt4 discussion on bioethics. I liked your argument on the lack of diversity in genomics being both an ethical problem and a scientific design problem. I think the point that underrepresented sampling can produce biomarker risk estimates and therapies do not generalize is especially important because it shows that fairness and external validity are directly connected. So, one idea that I would kind of add as a problem is not only recruiting more diverse participants, um, it's also determining who has authority over how samples and genomic data are used after collection. Historically underrepresented communities may be asked to contribute tissue or data without having much influence over research priorities, interpretation, or future data sharing. And increasing representation without changing governance could therefore produce a more diverse data set while preserving the same imbalance in decision making. So I think a lot of it has to do with like the level of informed consent that you offer to multiple populations or like underserved populations. Um, I think this creates an additional ethical tension. So open genomic data can strengthen reproducibility and accelerate discovery. It can also increase re-identification, privacy concerns, and community-level health risks. I think that's especially relevant in postmortem brain research, where donor cannot respond to new uses and genomic findings may reveal information about living relatives that uh, are unfavorable for that group and that they would not otherwise want to be known. Um, I think researchers therefore should have to balance scientific openness with consent boundaries and long-term stewardship. So I also agree with your partnership model for authority. Researchers are best positioned to identify emerging technical risks, while independent oversight is needed because researchers also face funding and publication incentives. I would extend that model by including donor, participant, or community representation, and research could affect an identifiable population. So overall, I think you have a really strong argument, and I tend to agree with what you've said. Ethical safeguards do not compete with rigor. Representative sampling, meaningful governance, and responsible data use help determine whether authentic science is both trustworthy and broadly applicable. I'm looking forward to see if you have any thoughts on my discussion, and yeah, looking forward to hearing from you.